Boys, what I'm about to show you on this car is straight fire. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you watched last week's video, you know we've got a new set of wheels and tires going on the car. I picked up a set of Cosmis wheels, and before we get too far into it, I do want to give them a huge thank you because they reached out after last week's video. They saw it and really liked what they saw and hooked us up with a code to give to you guys, as well as a little care package over here. So if you're thinking about getting a set of Cosmis wheels, you can use code AVERAGEBROS. I'll put that up on the screen here, and that'll save you 10% off of your entire order. But let's take a look what they sent in the care package real quick. So we got a nice shirt, XL, because they know how we roll. Go ahead and throw this on really quick. Boom, fresh new tee. You can never have too many tees, so thanks for that. Got a banner for the car as well. Or throw that on the back window. Represent. Lanyard. And some more stickers in here. Definitely gonna put those on the toolbox. So big shout out to Vinny down there. I really appreciate it and look forward to doing more work with you in the future. So as far as the wheels that I got for the car, I picked up a set of Cosmis XT006R's. I went with a square setup for this car with an 18x9.5 in the +10 offset. If you've been following the build on this car, you know it's a slightly narrower wheel than what we had on the car previously, and that's for two reasons. One, we were running into an issue up front where we were gonna have it rubbing as we added the angle kit to the car, so we've got a little bit more clearance up front. And two, it allowed us to run a smaller tire in the rear of the car and bump down from a 265 to a 245, which I felt was a little better match for the stock power on this car and is a little bit more affordable tire as we start to go through more and more of them at the track. And speaking of tires, I went with an Achilles 123 on the front, so we've got some real grippy boys up front on the steers, and then an Achilles Sport ATR 2 on the rear, which is gonna be a nice affordable tire, but you know, giving good traction. It's gonna hold up to what we're doing out there, but not break the bank when we go to replace them. But we've talked enough about it. Let's go ahead and start installing these on the car. All right, boys, so I brought the car home. We're gonna go out and film a cinematic, just doing kind of a full unveil of the car and just gonna go out and practice shooting. But before I did that, I want to throw some spacers on the rear. I'm just not exactly happy with the fitment. Let me show you real quick. So the fronts are pretty solid from like a form and function standpoint. Like, yeah, you could get a little bit more on there, but the actual wheel is pretty in line with the fender. So I'm pretty happy with how that looks. Let's jump to the back real quick. Now on the back, you can see it sits in just a little bit more, like the fender drops down just kind of outside the lip. And I think we can just push it out a little bit. So I've got some 5mm spacers that I'm gonna throw on the rear and push that out a little bit. Long term, once I throw some dual calipers on the rear, that dual caliper bracket is actually gonna push it out enough that we can take these spacers off. But in the meantime, we're gonna get a little bit better fitment. So I'm gonna throw you guys on a tripod and get to work. All right, and here it is with the spacer. It's definitely subtle, but it pushed it out just enough where I think that fitment looks pretty good and it's still functional. Especially once we get a little bit softer suspension setup on here, we're gonna want that travel so I don't have to worry about the fender coming down and rubbing on the wheel when this thing kind of squats down under power. And of course, as I finish putting the spacers on, it starts to rain. So as soon as it stops raining, I'm gonna take the Z out and we'll go film the cinematic that you guys are gonna see here in 3, 2, 1, action.